Today I want to talk to you guys about language and the importance of language. And I want to use a current social justice issue to make this point. You see, growing up here in America, even as a young person, I was aware of the power of language, and it caused me great confusion. And I mean when I was in elementary school, some of you call it primary school, because you study the history of America and they refer to America as like the land of the free and the home of the brave. And even in our Star-Spangled Banner, there's references to this country being a land of freedom and liberty and justice for all. And I remember asking my fifth grade teacher, when did this start? And she was like, oh, in 1814 or whatever. And I'm aware that slavery didn't legally end until 1865. Segregation laws didn't change until the mid to late 1960s. So how come liberty and justice for all actually didn't include all? Did anybody notice this big gap? See, what I want you guys to understand is what's happening in the world right now, this Black Lives Matter movement. It's about including people who weren't previously included in the word all. That's how powerful language is. I tell people all the time, and people ask me, do you really think that solution-focused brief therapy can help a client who's got trauma and complex trauma and an access to diagnosis and an addiction? Do you think a psychotherapy session could help them? Of course I can. Of course I believe it. Because language matters. Language matters on a global scale. We need to include all when we say all. Because if we exclude people from all, then people feel oppressed and they feel hurt and they feel not included. And Black people in America have felt that way for hundreds of years. That's what is happening now. A whole population of people are standing up and they're saying, when you say liberty and justice for all, that includes Breonna Taylor, right? That includes George Floyd, because they're in the all. And we've been hurt and oppressed for so long, we've lost our confidence that when someone wrote liberty and justice for all, they didn't mean everyone. I don't understand how the words Black Lives Matter triggers so much angst and so much pushback, because it is so clear that at one point the word all didn't mean everyone. And that's exactly what we're talking about, because words matter. And words matter on the macro scale and they matter on the micro scale. So when clients come into my office and they describe themselves in negative ways, it's almost like the words they're using are oppressing their own spirit. And it's our job to ask them questions that trigger the client to use words that includes them, right? Because think about it, if I think of myself as depressed, that means happiness does not include me. So I'm gonna ask questions like, suppose you woke up tomorrow happy, what would you notice? What I'm doing is I'm including the personhood of that client in the entity of happiness. And it has an impact on them in the same exact way that if you include Black people in the all, if you include client in the happiness, makes a difference. That's how powerful words are. So when you guys are hearing people talk about Black Lives Matter, you gotta stop thinking that they're saying Black Lives Matter more than someone else. You gotta stop responding by saying, oh yeah, all lives matter. But all lives didn't always mean everyone. And that's what this is about. And sometimes when your client comes in your office, happiness, they don't think means them. And you have to change their language so that they can include them, because it makes a difference. And there's a whole lot of people right now fighting to change America's language so that they can be included. That is how powerful words are.